All right then, so let's have a quick look at our agenda and see what we're dealing with today. So first things first, we're going to look at Know Your Debtor. It's where we start at every debt recovery seminar, and it doesn't matter how many times you do it, it continues to be as important as the very first time. So I really want to delve into that a little bit more, and specifically why it's so important at this moment in time when we're taking on our actions as debt recovery specialists. We'll also then touch on pre-action letters and correspondence. This is something that's come up again recently, and you'll see why as we go through, but a number of cases that have been coming out in the courts recently about people, not sticking to correct pre-action letters in accordance with protocols, putting things in correspondence that they shouldn't, maybe with prejudice, without prejudice correspondence, making sure you get those right. So we'll have a look at those as well. Repayment proposals, a really big one at the minute, so popular and many people using them. How do we do them properly, and how do we make sure that we get them right so that they're binding if and when needed? We'll then move on in the second half of our session today, enforcement options available. So when we are dealing with debt recovery, we're kind of seeing a bit of a trend, a bit of a shift when it comes to enforcement options that people are using. And that often happens depending on kind of the financial outlook, how things are looking at the minute, sums of debt that people are seeking to recover. Do people need money in their pocket now, or are they happy to secure any outstanding debt so that they can recover it going forward? So we'll touch on that and see what's hot at the minute and what's not. And then finally, then briefly at the very end, we'll touch on stat demands and the importance of those, also the risks involved in using all those, and also insolvency and winding up proceedings. If you work in this area, you'll remember that over COVID, for a number of months, actually over a year, insolvency proceedings and stat demands had a lot of kind of red flags up against them. You couldn't use some, you had to overcome certain hurdles when using others. So we'll just have a brief little bring us up to speed and see what's going on with them at the minute.